Hey, scrappy people. Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a layout using the Cocoa Daisy Paperie collection. And today I'm going to be scrapbooking about my shift to mocktails this month. So I have a picture of said mocktail, not my picture, the picture from the recipe website. I'm going to be including the recipe on here as well as some journaling. I think I might actually print it on here. Rather than write it on here, just so I can make sure that it all fits. And I have these two photos that I'm going to pair with it because never miss the chance to include a selfie that you love on your scrapbook pages. And yeah, so I'm starting here. I have plans. We'll see. This is one of those layouts where I laid everything out that I thought would work with this page, but I don't really have a direction yet. So let's see what we do. Okie dokie, so this layout, what I struggled with a little bit on this layout was a bit of the color matching. And you can see me going through papers and trying to find what's going to work. And what mainly tripped me up was the cream at the top of the on the menu card versus the white based papers in a lot of these papers that are white based. I decided to just go with it, and I'm going to go with this green as my background, this green scripty paper. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some paper tears and some just like strips of color to go with the sort of vertical orientation of the traveler's notebook card on the right hand side. So I'm just going to trim this down, and then I'm going to create a rip, nice little torn edge along the side, and I'm going to top that with this black and white pattern here, and that's going to give me a bit of a white base to work with, so I don't feel so awkward incorporating more white base things with that cream top. I don't know why, but mixing cream and white for me can be tricky sometimes, and so I just wanted to confront it head on and really make it easier for myself going down the line. And it worked because I never thought about cream versus white again after this, so hooray for that. So I'm just going to stick these two together, and then I will stick them to the green paper, and you'll see that I actually don't leave a lot of the black and white paper on this page. It's just a nice little strip along the edge that's going to sort of anchor the page. Okay, so I'm going to start with the right hand side, and I'm going to create my title over here, my place for journaling over here, and all of the embellishment that I want to include. There are lots of fun rub-ons in this collection, so I'm going to start with those since they kind of have to go on the bottom layers. There's lots of fun tags that I'm going to play with as well. I think I incorporate 3-ish tags on this page, so that's super fun. I'm going to use this one just sort of as an anchor for this photo, and also because I wanted to cover up all of those extra words after on the menu. This is a beverage, so I wanted to cover up all of the rest of them since it just happened to be on the outside edge. So I'm going to use the tag to do that, and then I'm going to mat the photo over the top of it. Then I'm going to use all of the sort of extra space around the outside edge for my title. I initially put this word strip on here that says yummy, but I'm going to eventually choose something else when I find it in the chipboard pieces, so just ignore that yummy for the moment. It does work there just fine, but I like something else a little bit better. So I'm going to pull out both the alphabets, and I'm going to use both for my title. This is a grapefruit mocktail, so that's just what my title is going to be, because I'm going to put recipe underneath it, so it's going to say grapefruit mocktail recipe. I'm trying to incorporate these pens, but I didn't really want to go over there, so I'm going to do something else instead. And I have these sticker word strips from the sticker sheet. This one says taking time for myself, and then I have another one that says I think there's a lesson in this or something like that, because this page is about reducing alcohol consumption a little bit for dry January 2023. So I wanted to incorporate some of those word bits that would make sense to that. I'm going to rearrange that side a little bit more here in a second when I get out the chipboard, but I'm going to work on this side first. So I'm going to frame both of these photos rather than pulling in more patterned papers. I'm going to frame them with these tags. This one says notes, and then I'm going to slide this one under here as well, and it's just got a blue border at the top. So I'm using those to anchor those photos and frame them and create a nice cluster rather than just two photos sitting on top of each other. So I'm just going to start from the top and work my way down the cluster as I stick everything down. I keep trying to pull the backing off of all of these tags. Like, they're thick enough that they feel like they should have adhesive on the back like the rest of the die cuts, but they do not. So I'm just going to keep doing it, and I'm just going to eventually I'll convince myself that they don't have sticky backing, but until then I'm just going to do it to every single one. Okay, now I'm going to stick this whole cluster down a little bit lower than I had it before, nice and centered on the page, and I'm going to work in some embellishments. I actually, considering this page, I don't actually use a lot of embellishment. There's quite a few word strips, and even the chipboard that I incorporate is wordy, but I don't use a lot of icons because a lot of the design of this page comes down to pattern and like the title and eventually the journaling too. It all just kind of creates a lot of words, but it works because there's so many photos on the page. I'm going to incorporate this little ephemera bit. I'm going to stick it right underneath here because I don't want too much sticking out because I don't want it to detract from the black and white paper, but I just wanted a little peek there. And I'm going to incorporate 2 hearts and a pen, and I think those are the only embellishments that I think I incorporate one more heart at the end, but I think those are the only icon embellishments that I use on this whole page, which I find really interesting. But here's the second heart. Oh, if I can get the backing off. I always struggle. I'm a nail biter, so my nails are always, well, that's not true. I go through stages, but my nails are perpetually short, too short to peel off the backing. I liked this washi tape a lot, so I wanted to have just 2 little bits of washi tape on this page. I think it makes a great visual like pop. Both of these bits here, I wanted to have 2 different places of it, but I want them to be horizontal and vertical so that they don't look the same. I really think that that adds a lot, surprisingly. And then I'm going to add this pen a little bit lower than that, and when I add it a little bit lower, it creates a nice little framing point for that taking some time for myself word bit. And so I'm going to end up moving that over to the left hand side, and that's going to start the little like catalyst for changing up the right hand side a little bit, because I'm just gonna put this right under here, and I like the way that both of those look on that page together. All right, so now that I've got that moved over, I'm going to start looking at my chipboard, and when I find my chipboard, I find all of these half circles, and I start incorporating the half circles into this page. So this circle is going to go on the right hand side, or the left hand side. I guess you can count this as an icon even though it does have words on it. It's both. But I liked the camera because obviously these are selfies, so I always like putting cameras on selfies. And then there's this patterned half circle with this scripty pattern on it. So many times can I say pattern? But I thought that that incorporated the cross pattern from the other side, the whole black and white theme, really well into the right hand side. So I wanted to include that too, so that there was black and white on both sides. So I'm going to put it down here on the bottom. It's actually going to go on the right hand side, but for now it's going to go right there, because then I see this and I realize that it goes right there so perfectly. It matches so well and stands out better than the other word bit, so I'm just going to use that instead. Now, word to the wise. I was going to print my journaling on clear sticker paper and just put it on top of the layout. That was my plan. So I started putting down all of this, like the stickers and the chipboard that all have all of this depth to them, and my printer still accepted the page with all of this depth on it, but it got caught on the ink itself gets caught on the mocktail especially word. And while I was able to get most of it off, you can see that there is a smear underneath the M in mocktail that's really bothering me, and so I'm gonna have to fix it. So word to the wise, if you're gonna stick yours through the printer like I did, don't put anything that has a lot of bulk on it on your page until after you've printed your journaling. Now, again, I was going to print it on the clear sticker paper and not have that problem, but I was out of clear sticker paper, so I had to put the whole thing through the printer, and it just did not work out well. I decided to add some of this torn paper at the top of this page just to tie the two sides of the pages together. And also, I really didn't like that line up there at the top of the page, so I wanted to get rid of it, and I did that with this torn paper. I was going to use both patterns initially, but I decided that I just wanted to have the black and white cross paper, so I'm just layering it up at the top there, making it look a little bit messy. I'll use my liquid glue and stick this little bit down. There we go. So this is getting close to done. The only thing I have to do is fix that smear. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick down a label from the die cuts, and then I'm just going to add a recipe over the top of the label using letter stickers from the classic planner sticker kit that happened to be grapefruit orange, so that worked out really well. Of course, I am having problems getting the backing off of this because I need to stop biting my nails. So I'm just going to peel up the bottoms of these letter stickers so I can just slide that right underneath there, making sure I don't cut off the journaling at all. And then I'm going to take the letter stickers and I will put them over the top. So it says mocktail recipe. And then I am good to go. Just going to stick this one little last heart here and call it good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There's a link to Cocoa Daisy in the description box below. If you are new and would like to start a subscription, it is an affiliate link and I will get a little kickback too. All right, thank you.